critical drinker.
Critical drinker, coming on going, oh, this is really damning. Same kind of guys who would be like
Yeah, well,
on
he was
Johnny
the same
Depp's
one
dick.
I was tapping for Johnny Depp. And I'm not saying Johnny Depp was guilty, guys, but it's crazy how, because he's one of those channels that, like, look, he's one of those anti-SJW channels. I'm not saying I'm pro SJW or anti SJW, but he is clearly an anti SJW channel. He's
Right.
no different than the Geeks and Gamers type. And the fact that he's so easy to side with the woman here, but want to bash and tear down Jonathan is just kind of weird and iffy to me. It's like, because usually how their trend is, it's like, let's believe the man first and not the woman this time. And for me, I think, take
You
that
should
whole
be
gender,
open-minded.
be open minded. Take the whole gender shit out of it. Just don't believe anybody. You need to wait until evidence for anything. You don't need to pick. You don't need to side with it just because it's a woman or a man. Just wait on some shit. That's why I didn't completely say this whole time that Jonathan was innocent or guilty. I'm like, I'm leaning towards him being innocent, but I don't really know yet if he's innocent.
I mean, the most damning thing I've seen is this series of texts about her going to the hospital or whatever. That's the most damning thing. But I don't know what happened.
He did hit her, or if he did hit her.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know what happened on the direct examination when they were talking about those texts, or what happened on cross-examination when they were talking about those texts. But at very, very best, if that's the most damning evidence you've still got reasonable doubt. There's no way that doesn't fall into the remit of reasonable doubt. It's a fucking text that could mean anything.
And I can okay. Let's play both sides of this. I can possibly see why Jonathan would even say, let's not get the police involved. Because look what happened when he called the police to check on his girlfriend who showed up in his place drunk and shit and all fucked up, half naked. And look what happened. He got arrested for doing the right thing, calling the police to, like, hey, my girlfriend's, my ex is tripping and stuff. I want to make sure she's good. She called 911. Right. He got arrested. Got locked up, and he's in this whole situation. Go ahead, Rosales. You guys can jump in if y'all want. I don't know why y'all waiting.
Well, if you look at the assault charge that he was found not guilty of, it's assault in the third degree with intent to cause physical injury. So at no point did they believe that he intended to cause physical injury. However, the one he was found guilty for was assault in the third degree, recklessly causing physical injury. Okay, so he was not guilty for aggravated harassment in the second degree. And the thing is, though, is that even though he caused physical injury, it doesn't necessarily state that it's the cut behind the ear or the broken finger, because the jury did not get to see the nightclub footage that we all saw online. They did not get to hear how many times the cops asked her, did he do this to you? Did he choke you? And how many times she said, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe he did strangle me. So they were able to see the body camera footage, but not hear the audio. Okay, so that's clear that they were deprived of crucial information for what they did. And they know this because they found the two weakest of the two to find him guilty for, because I believe they felt pressure to find a guilty as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. And this is exactly what I'm saying. This is why, you need these things televised. You need to show. The judges so often side with prosecution because they're all former prosecutors. They have a prosecutorial mentality, judges. So they will necessarily. It's quite often. I mean, like judges. I know what you're saying, but like a lot of judges do come. A lot of judges do come from the prosecutor's side of things.
That's why I got Officer Danny here to come defend the law. Go ahead, Danny.
I'm not defending the law. I'm just saying that.
I just wanted your opinion here because you are.
A lot of times, what people
we don't use these.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know is that a lot of times the jury. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't follow this K-Dots. They only had 6 jurors, correct?
Yeah, it was only 6.
To me,
and
that's
just to throw it in there, I'm not saying it fully matters, but it was no people that was like, black in the jury. Not saying that
it does matter because
it was a biased jury.
What a lot of people, you're supposed to have a jury of your peers, and what a lot of people don't know is that each side, if it's a 12-man jury, they get certain strikes, and they get a whole list of people, their qualification, their jobs, that stuff. And then if it's just something that it don't fit, a lot of times you got law enforcement there because they have a history with some of these people. No, you don't want to get K-Dots because he's a DC lover. I'm just using that as an example. But you might want to get, and if let's just say an MCU fan would help your cause and they know K-Dots, and I'm saying, no, I don't want to get K-Dots because he's going to side with the DC argument. But I'm going to get Onzo, he's going to side with the MCU argument. That's what you get your strikes for, and that's what you got your attorneys there for, to get people that's going to genuinely vote for you. And then another thing, too, is that a lot of times they have these pretrial motions. A lot of these pretrial motions, they go to the judge and they plead their case. Based on the case that happened back in 19 blah, 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 we're going to ask that this particular piece of evidence be withheld from the jury because of this president, or this president. So we got to know what kind of laws or what kind of pretrial motions they made, why some of this evidence wasn't privy to the judge. I mean, to the jury. A lot of times that jury in a big case like this is going to be sequestered. So they're not going to have any outside information. They can only make their particular judgment on what they see in front of them. So if the person got a attorney that's worth their salt, I don't know what kind of background Jonathan Majors' attorney had, but to use a case, OJ and him was in similar situations. Black man, white woman. OJ had an outstanding officer, and he beat the case. I don't know if
but no.
Jonathan Majors'
Let's
attorney,
make that clear, because that's a good comparison, right? The amount of judgments that went against the defense in the OJ Simpson trial, it was almost 90% against them. So any evidence that kind of was allowed in, or that was exculpatory or whatever on OJ's side, like a lot of that didn't go in. A lot of it. So the judge Ito was always going against the defense, and it was noticeable. So just to say, as point of comparison.
OJ didn't do it, right, Nerdman?
It's not about
my God!
It's not about that. It's about the case. I'm talking about the case as it happened in trial. It's there to watch.
When you go back to the OJ case, LA couldn't afford another riot, right? They've already spent so much money cleaning those riots. So if OJ had been found guilty, there would have been another riot. I really do believe that's part of the reason why he probably got off of it.
Propaganda.
Well, just my opinion. Just like your MCU propaganda against you. But it's to piggyback on what Danny said, I served on juries before several times. Getting a group of people together, the defense prosecution asks us different questions and they choose based on our answers. Right. And so I don't know what New York law is, but 6 jurors, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that sounds pretty small.
It should have been.
Yeah, when I heard the amount, I was like, it was like it's kind of weird, like 6. I mean, I understand that there's like some like broken down small hick town or whatever.
Someone that blame is his attorney.
New York.
Yeah, so I'm like, what kind of attorneys do you have?
Because if you go into a situation, your client is not going to have the most be advantageous to his or her case, then you can ask for a change of venue.
Yeah.
So you put it somewhere that's going to be more advantageous, somewhere that maybe not be less high profile. Because the reason why they went after Jonathan Majors, because he's a high profile actor, racial relationship, I believe, and they're not going to say this man is totally against everything, and the poor, defenseless, weak, whatever you want to describe her as. That's just not going. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I agree with it, because I really don't like this. I didn't follow it, but based on just what I'm seeing and based on what I've seen in the past, I really don't like this case. But
as I said,
we live in now.
I think the jury instruction is really, really important here. I want to know what that was by the judge. What was the scope of this thing? Was it beyond that night? You know, like beyond the night in question, which he was being supposedly brought in for? Or was it something else?
Well, this goes to the mistakes that his.
When you go
this
to
goes to the mistakes that. Please go ahead.
When you go to deliberate, nerd man, the judge tells you exactly what you can and you can't do. It's very specific. You can't look at this piece of evidence. You can only base your opinion on this answer. Now it's kind of hard to unsee something, unhear something. That's why you hear all these objections, or if somebody crosses the line, they'll ask the jury to step out while they fix something. And then when the juries come back in, they'll tell them, "You're gonna strike out what Danny just said. Is now you can't use it at all." Now, whether or not some people can do that, then what's really is tricky is that, yeah, these jurors might say the right thing. Oh yeah, I can be fair, I can be impartial, and be the biggest racist on the planet. You don't know that,
right? Exactly.
Yeah, but this goes to his defense lawyers doing things that endangered the case, specifically making mistakes by pressing her on the stand about her ex-boyfriend and past relationships with an ex-boyfriend who committed suicide, and in doing so, it opened up past relationships and events, which opened up the window for the recordings that happened in September and had nothing to do with this particular case. In those recordings, Jonathan Majors and those texts are really, really damning, especially since you can't judge the inflection in the text. He might be saying something about suicide in the text that he could be responding to her, because we only saw all of his texts and a portion of her text with great big chunks of what she said before that redacted. Okay, so here we go again back to selective information for the jury. It's not pertinent, according to the judge and the prosecution. A lot of this was meant for, I think, to confuse the jury and bring them to a point where they can't say without a reasonable doubt that he caused harm to this woman, which is why they think that when he pushed her back into the car, she somehow cut her ear, the magical ear that didn't bleed until a night later, when she was bleeding in his, she had dried blood in his apartment. So that's so that's the only place you saw the pictures of her ear that had dried blood on it. Not on the back of her neck, not when she was talking to the strangers on the street, not in the nightclub where she was out, where she still hadn't changed, but she was still drinking with one hand and smoking a cigarette with the other hand, neither of them functioning like a broken finger. And at the point where he gets arrested is when she finally notices the cut behind her ear and the broken finger. So I think they chose the least damning they could, but they felt pressure to come up with a decision that found him guilty of something.
And I will say this, regardless, someone would notice a cut on their ear, because I've been cut on my ear before, and you can literally, if you're not, let's say for example, I push my ear up against my skin a bit, you're going to feel that. It's just weird that as a result, she just conveniently felt the pain as soon as the police was called, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't feel it at all at night. Like when you was dancing,
right.
They also left out the fact that she texted her friend after the point where he called the police, 911, and they arrived. Okay. Yeah. At that point where he thought she was passed out and possibly suicided herself. He calls 911. She texts her friend about something, about feeling some way or another. And then when the police arrive, she's all passed out and doesn't remember anything. And that particular text, the fact that it happened, was left out. It wasn't pertinent for the jury to know that she was out and about before the police got there.
Yeah. So why was stuff like that and the nightclub footage left out, but they thought that audio of him like arguing about something completely separate was relevant? Why is that?
Like I said, in the pretrial motions, the judge can determine what is admissible, what is not, based on past case law. If they got some kind of case law that happened back in 1972 that says in this particular case, it could be Danny versus whatever, South Carolina, and then it said in that precedent was set that you can't use this piece of evidence because of blah blah blah. If those same factors are in this case, they can use that case to have it sequestered, to have it suppressed, whatever. You don't know what the pretrial motions are.
That's like real quick. I want to show, and this is why I say.
There's also been
go ahead.
There's also been laws in New York recently that are very, very protective of women. Some of them understandable, a lot of them understandable, to be honest. But because they're very, very protective of women, they can get jury instructions that lean towards over prosecution that lean towards it being very, very difficult to get out of a situation where, for instance, this reckless what was the charge that they got him for? Reckless assault. It was unintentional.
Wait, and let me bring this
assault in the third degree with intent. It's assault in the third degree, recklessly causing physical injury.
Right, but you can clearly see if it's based on that push, you can clearly see he's trying to get away from her. Right? That's clear.
Right.
Okay, so if it's based on that, that must be some law that says that a man in that situation is somehow still, responsible for the injury, even though he's trying to escape.
You don't have to be the wording of the law, man. It could be how well the officer articulated, how well the judge, his or her perception. Some judges lean more to the left than the right. It could be the prosecutor, and then here where I'm at, if you take a polygraph test, for instance, it's not admissible in court if you're lying. But if you're not lying or showing any kind of deception on the polygraph, you usually dismiss the case. I don't know why he didn't do that, or I don't know whether it was something they do. Now that's the only good thing about polygraph. If you lying, you can't use it in case. You can't use it in court. It's not evidence. But if you're telling the truth, we almost all the time drop it. So I wish he would have took that and passed that. Then he might not would have went through this at all.
And that's why, real quick, when they got him on a reckless assault, and that's why people, especially if you live in America, you got to be very careful with how you even use force in this country, right? Because for the most part, it's if you strike somebody first, you're immediately in the wrong. But even if you're defending yourself, like there's some laws in certain states where if someone were to break in your house and they were running out and you shot them in the back, you can still be in trouble for it. Somehow you can still be in trouble for it, even though you're the one who was attacked. You was in danger, but you can still get in trouble. It's completely stupid to me, but some laws that should be changed. But it's just be careful with how you force on people. That's all I'm saying.
I think for now it's a little bit of a mystery as to what exactly led the jury down this road. It could be anything from having 6 white jurors, 4 women, it could be that. It could be, something the judge said. It could be some kind of instruction.
It was 4 white females.
It could be a number.
Man?
No. I'm just saying. I'm speculating. I don't know what the jury was made up of.
What was the jury
just saying,
made up? K-Dots.
Well, it was no black people on it. I think she'll say it was made of like Caucasian people and I think Asian people. She'll has the best.
Here's a question. What the hell is a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation? Because that's one of the charges. So Majors was convicted on Monday of 1 count of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation. The fuck does that mean?
Aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree is no, he was found not guilty of that. I'm sorry. Let's see. He was not guilty of that. Harassment in the 2nd degree, he was guilty of. I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. But it's not as egregious as the 2 that he was found not guilty for. And it also. It should also be noted that there were several charges that were dropped, including the strangulation that they had arrested him for initially. I mean, if you're arrested for strangulation and you go to trial for strangulation and they drop the strangulation, everything should have been dropped.
Right.
And
yeah, I mean, they were determined to get this guy. They
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But can I say one thing? Like, I just want to know if those charges that he has, and I know it looks bad, guilty, right? But if it just means I accidentally injured somebody, for instance,
it could just mean like even just like elbowing by accident.
Well, as much as that looks, hold on. As much as that looks, Nerdman, as much as that looks the same way, Marvel already dropped him. So as innocent as these dropped already.
That's why. Regardless, and what Nerdman, and we also have to factor in. It's just a societal thing. Prime example. If I'm not trying to justify anything, right? But let's say if a man were to go up and hit a woman, and if a woman hit a man in the street, right, just out of nowhere, randomly, just assaulted him. If that man draws back and tries to boop her in the head, and there's a group of people around, such say other men, they're immediately going to jump on him, even though they just literally saw this woman assault this guy. So regardless of that's why I say, even as dudes, even if you defend yourself against a woman and you was attacked first, the society looks at it as, oh, why'd you hit that woman? Blah, blah, blah. You didn't need to use that much force. When it's like, I mean, in the situation, depending on what it is, I got assaulted first, blah, blah, blah. But see, the force we saw Jonathan use, he just tried to push her off of him and get away. He was running away. But regardless, even when they saw him use the force, I think just the people that seen him use the force, because there's some people that believe under no circumstance should a man ever lay hands on a woman, even if the woman assaulted him.
I think that used to be the narrative, but it's the laws. The laws are changing now, and I can tell you why. And where I'm at, domestic violence, we have something that we have to hunt for diligently, and it's called the primary aggressor. We have to determine who is the primary aggressor in a domestic violence situation. And there are certain things that we have, tools that we use, like how many times we've been there, who's been the caller most of the times. Are there witnesses there that see a family member? Are there independent witnesses that have no dog in the fight, so to speak. And if we can't determine that, and if there are marks on both people, then the law says here where I'm at that we are to arrest both the people, and we to explain in the report what means we went to try to find out and were exhausted on who was the primary aggressor. Then to go a step further, we go in front of the judge and have a primary aggressor hearing, and the judge listens to everything that happened that particular incident, and then he determines based on what he thinks or what the law guides him to do to find out, okay, Danny, you were the primary aggressor, your wife was not, release your wife, and Danny get all the charges. Now, that is something that's supposed to be done. I know it's done where I'm at here now, and it's not necessarily who
not in New York.
The man and the woman,
violence in New York.
Especially if you have video footage. Why this didn't work in this case leads you to believe that there was an agenda behind it based on what I've seen. And like I said, I'm not following like y'all are, but based on the bits and pieces that I've seen, it seemed like they were out for they were not going to let him go scot-free. And this poor defenseless lady who's crying and all this kind of stuff, I don't know all the full particulars of it. They were not, because that wouldn't be a good look. And the fact that Marvel, in my opinion, all this is opinion based by what I'm saying, is doing it is just they're trying to say, look, we already taking a beating now in the box office. We're not putting nowhere else to have even less people in the seats when we're trying to go forward. And it's unfortunate because I think he's getting the short end of the stick, but that's just the world that we live in now, and it's not fair. Cancel culture is alive and well, and it's not fair at all.
And look, I'll just say this too real quick. You know, hey, at this point, if they're not going to do anything else with Kang, I would say just drop the character. He got defeated by ants. Kang is trash. Let's move on to.
Wow. We're trying to have a serious conversation.
I'm being serious. Kang trash. Let's move on from Kang.
Oh, you want Dr. Doom?
They're not going to recast Kang. They will not. I mean, for the same reasons that they won't recast T'Challa. They gave these two characters an opportunity, and the opportunities fell below them. They're not trying to establish strong black male characters. They put one up. It worked. It got popular. It's done its job. Now they're going to move on to something else. They're not even going to recast Kang. They're going to replace that character as a big bad guy with Doctor Doom.
I hope they don't do that. Oh my god.
I don't really care.
They've already talked about whether or not they do that.
I'm more into this case, and I just think that we need more information about like the process that this case took. And
was there anything we didn't see during it that they did?
As Onzo was saying,
yeah. Go ahead, Norman. But go ahead, Norman.
I want to look up harassment in the second degree. What exactly that means. That's one thing I want to find out. What it is in New York exactly.
No. What I want you to know.
Secondly, I want to look at. No, I just wanted to say. Secondly, I want to know if these charges mean anything in terms of that he purposefully did anything. Because if he didn't, and this is just guilty, like it's like a, some kind of, oh well, at least we'll give the prosecution something, right? Like we'll give them something. Because maybe they couldn't agree on the other two charges, the jury. So they were like, okay, this is the best way to split the difference.
Okay, right? Hold on. Before you do
if
all
that's the case.
Can you share that screen, K-Dots?
Yeah, I'll share it.
I want you to do something for me, K-Dot, because I couldn't find anything. I want you to go Google and just type in and see if you can find the cop's testimony online.
That's it right there. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm just showing there, man. That's right there. Harassment in the second degree. A person is guilty of harassment in the second degree with intent, harass, annoy, or alarm another person. He or she strikes, shoves, kicks, or otherwise subjects such other person to physical contact or attempts to threaten to do the same, or he or she follows a person in or about a public place or places, or he or she engages in course of conduct or repeatedly commits acts which alarm or seriously annoy such other persons and which serve no legitimate purpose.
So those are the actions she took.
She did chase him, like they said right here.
Yep.
Exactly. Those are the actions she took. This is amazing.
She didn't get charged for. She didn't get charged for any of this, right? And okay, I know this. I'm not trying to compare.
The cab driver even said she probably struck him. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's I'm glad you brought that up. The freaking driver, the only witness there, literally said that she was the one instigating, acting crazy, blah blah blah, all that, right?
Yep, exactly.
Now I'm not saying her reasons for getting mad at Jonathan wasn't valid. I mean, he was talking to another girl, but still, if we're going off what the law, she assaulted him, right? Even the driver, freaking whatever. But she walks away with no charges. She's all good. Blah blah blah. Bullshit.
There was a cop that was on the stand, and this cop said that he never seen no bruises on her. I remember reading that.
Wait, was it this one here, Onzo? Because it says NYPD Sergeant Brian Hansen, one of the officers who responded to Major's 911 call, testified as a prosecuted witness that he recalled seeing blood on a comforter on a bed in Major's apartment.
He is the only one you will find. There were two other cops that were on there. One of them said that they did not see any bruises on her. One of them also said that they pretty much wrote the report for her. And if you look online and look for that, you won't find it anywhere.
But it said right there too, but conceded that he couldn't identify any blood in his review of the videos from police body cameras.
He also didn't save the comforter either as evidence. They didn't log it as evidence. It wasn't anywhere in there except for in his testimony.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like Jonathan Major's attorney wasn't doing a good job.
She was bad. I say that 100%. I said that a couple of days ago. I said, yeah, I think he should have called Johnny Depp and said, yo, who are those lawyers you use?
Yeah.
Can I get their contacts, please? He should not have used her.
He should have got her because this girl when she closed her what because his lawyer literally closed a statement, did the closing statement crying and shit like free Jonathan Majors of this blah blah. I'm like, the fuck you crying for?
Yeah,
the
like
attorney
Like
did
what,
that.
what is that? What are
Yeah,
you trying to do? Okay, so you're a lawyer and you start breaking out crying. Let's free Jonathan of this horror. Oh my god, the fuck? You're the lawyer. You supposed to be
that's some
you
bullshit.
supposed to be professional and hold your shit. And you over here
That's
trying to
bullshit.
do that sympathy point shit with the jury as if that's gonna do something. You need to like, you the lawyer. You supposed to be on point. I want to see you crying and shit.
But as much as he might have had a somewhat shoddy lawyer, clearly from the evidence that's been released, and I'm sure the prosecution would have released evidence to the public if they had more damning evidence.
Right.
From the evidence that's been released, it screams reasonable doubt. And I know there's different laws in different states, and it's all very complicated. I just want to know what exactly he was like. On what basis did they come to the conclusion of these specific charges? And are these specific charges as damning, or are they just like throwaway charges? That's what I want to really know. Now, the second degree harassment didn't sound like a throwaway charge. That sounds pretty damning and something you could be fired from.
One of the ones he was charged for. One of the ones he was charged for is the one that has a year in prison. Now he probably won't see prison, but one of the ones he was charged for was that one that comes with a year in prison.
At most he might get probation. Hopefully he doesn't have to go sit in prison. That's gonna make it even worse for him to possibly even get hired in the future.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
You get a few months.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he does have to do some jail time for reckless assault and shit. But I hope he doesn't. At most, hopefully just probation. Because with and I'm not trying to make the comparison, but it's just weird how Ezra Miller got away with probation, and he was on a tirade assaulting people in Hawaii physically.
Hold on,
he wasn't.
He has some good lawyers. He has some good lawyers.
No, he wasn't charged for that. So that's.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you one word. So I got a question, right? And you guys will know this better than me because I don't remember. Was Chris Brown charged for Rihanna?
No.
Nope.
Wait.
Was he? I don't think so.
No.
I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
He got charged for the assault. He did jail time for it.
Did he?
Yeah, he did jail time.
I didn't know that. Holy shit.
I didn't know that either. I thought he got off.
I don't remember.
He went to jail for it.
Oh, did he?
Maybe that night.
That night. Yeah,
maybe that night of
this. I knew they took him away. I didn't realize he got jail time though.
Wait a minute.
And how much jail time did he get? Because
I'll tell you what. He that was a black woman. He did that too.
That's my point there, man. That was my point. That was exactly my point. Because regardless of what you want to say, what he did to that woman was 10 times worse, 100, 1,000 times worse than what happened with Jonathan Majors and his girl.
I mean, Chris Brown sentenced to labor, probation for Rihanna assault.
Yeah, he did do some jail time in 2014 for violating his probation. But this is back in 2014.
Right. No, he didn't. He spent that one night. It said Chris Brown sentenced to 5 years of former felony probation, 180 days of community labor, and a completion of 52-week domestic violence course. That's all he got. He got community.
Oh, dang. I mean, but as much as I do Chris Brown should have went to jail for that. He should have went to jail for that.
He beat the brakes off Rihanna.
But to be fair, right? And to be fair, when we heard Chris Brown's side of the story, and I heard more perspective, not excusing how far he took it with Rihanna, when I heard his perspective into it, he was saying that, when they was in the car and stuff driving home one night, Rihanna started grabbing his keys and almost killed them both. And I'm over like, I'm not saying she deserved it, but then I'm like, okay, there's a little bit more to this.
Right, but Kayla, we heard his side. We seen Jonathan Major's side. We seen the video.
But
but my thing is this.
I mean, hey, it's out there, man.
But my thing is this. Go ahead, Dan.
It don't matter how much you see, how much evidence you have. A lot of times it hinders on the prosecutor. It also hinders on the victim. Rihanna probably wasn't trying to destroy Chris Brown, but this woman was trying to destroy Mr. Majors. And if she's pushing it. That goes a long way. Than somebody's like, look, yeah, he did wrong, but I don't want. And I'm not saying she did. I don't know, but I've seen that in my profession all the time. The night when it first happened, they want to put you in jail. They want to cut your testicles off. They want to do that, and then when time cool off and stuff, I don't want to do it. I don't. But this lady, she was pushing it up, and her friends were pushing it up.
But here's the thing, though. She didn't bring the charges to Jonathan Majors. The DA did.
Yeah, but I'm saying they have a
right
right
to do that for domestic violence.
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is, right, they did do that, right? But she wasn't really cooperating at first, and it's just speculation. But once he was seen with Megan Good, that's when all of a sudden it's like,
also want to
scoring, bro. A woman scoring.
I want to add that. I want to add that in too, because this is part of the stuff where people, and this is why I say this. Why I'm glad we don't live in a society. This criminal justice system could be better. Don't get me wrong; it could be better, and it can get better. But I'm glad we don't live in a society where people where the public deem who's innocent or guilty. Because everybody was focused on the wrong things in this case. There's people making up conspiracy theories going like, Megan Good is pretending to be Jonathan's girlfriend, when it's like, if you put two and two together, Megan gets no benefit out of this if he's guilty. Like, none at all. Why would she even risk dating him if for some publicity, whether he becomes innocent or guilty? She gets no benefit.
That shit doesn't make any sense.
She loses. She loses support from women in this case, and I know she would, if she knew she would lose an audience, she wouldn't even dated him. I think the relationship was a genuine relationship. I don't think it's some bullshit conspiracy theory. And also, people was doing conspiracy theory about the whole school situation when he broke up those kids, acting like, oh, it looks like it was set up. I mean, it's in LA. A lot of celebrities are around. I'm not shocked that a celebrity came across a situation in LA where kids are getting into something and he saw it. It's LA. There's a bunch of celebrities that frequent the place. And to me, when I saw both sides, it did not look set up. Because if Jonathan set that up, where'd he get the money? Where'd he have the money to pay all them kids and their parents to get them all in this video to schedule this whole situation? To make up something. It makes no sense.
It's just absurd. Look, the problem where, again, due to a lot of lack of knowledge, I can't say this with 100% certainty, but to me, this screams of overzealous prosecutor, determined with a zealous, like a kind of zealot zest for this kind of case. And also it does scream a little bit of like racism, basically. Like, this is a black dude and a white woman, and it's America. And like, whatever happens, it's somehow.
Hey, don't slander our country, man.
We're always the aggressive people. That's basically what it is. It's like, it's somehow. Why are you putting me up like this? Like, I'm not like.
You're talking shit about my country. Why
you're talking shit about us Americans, man.
Yeah, because the UK got some shit.
But it's true though. There's a fucking
Yeah.
history of it. There's a history of it.
And UK got history too, bro. Long history. Same type of rights.
I fucking agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't.
It could happen in England
Don't
as
talk
well.
about it's America. That's why I know.
I don't, so
It's
I can
everywhere.
say it. I don't, so I can say it. America sucks. All
Yeah,
right.
it does pretty much.
Especially when it comes to us, it sucks. That's right.
Wow.
Canadian boy over here. Damn right.
But I mean, Norman, I'm not disagreeing completely, but it's just, to me, like, just even taking out, like, okay, let me play this video real quick to put some things in a little bit more perspective. It's a short little TikTok, and this is just one example, but it's just the general idea of probably a lot of people, especially women's thoughts on the situation with Jonathan, and how they're so, even the men, just focused on the wrong shit with this whole situation. And I don't know, this is why I'm so glad we don't. The public doesn't judge people anymore. This isn't the fucking Wild West where we hang people by ropes and stuff.
Dating this
She
woman,
used to.
ask her to be the Michelle to your Barack or the Coretta to your Martin. Why didn't you ask her to be the Hillary to your Bill or your Eleanor to your Franklin? You could have asked her to be the Jackie to his John. In terms of creating and maintaining a husband's legacy, I think Jackie Kennedy and Coretta Scott King did excellent jobs. Heck, you could have asked her to be the Melania to Donald. He doesn't talk a lot, and
Can
She
you
doesn't
switch
talk a lot.
this woman off, please?
Who's doing using those two
For
examples of
fuck's
Nah,
sake.
people got to see the example.
where
Oh my god.
about her relationship with Barack Obama's political career. He hasn't listened to Barack talk about it either. Anyway, he knew exactly what he was doing, using those two women as examples that his girlfriend needed to emulate in order to support him because he is a great man.
And that's the shit I'm talking about. Like,
now the thing she misses the point of that whole conversation he was having with her. It was not about necessarily being just like Coretta Scott King. It wasn't about being white or black. It was that he was ready and willing to commit his entire life to her. And he wanted her to commit her entire life to him. He was already there. He had the examples. He knew exactly what was going to happen. And this came true. He knew exactly what would happen if the police got involved with any kind of the domestic dispute between them. He knew what would happen. His life and his opportunities to do the things for everybody on this panel, save one, Cole. And he's trying to do something good, trying to do something great, and he wants her there. He was really 100% committed to her, and her commitment to him. Well, that's why he says what he said. That's why he stayed with her one more time. That's why he kept going back to her.
I honestly, whether I believe it or not is kind of irrelevant. I think he sounded a little bit like full of himself in this particular
That's
thing.
Possible in Hollywood.
But
the point is that he wanted her there with him.
But nonetheless, it doesn't really fucking matter. It has nothing to do with this case.
No, but see, Nerman, and Nerman, that's why I showed this video. That's why even there's probably people on the jury that when they heard that probably had the same thoughts or like just okay.
That's why they played it.
And see the fact that this woman, and mind you, most people in the public looking at this are so focused on it and got the whole they miss whole point. Just like Rosales said, Jonathan wanted a woman with a certain character. Now, to be fair, I think if at this point, I think he should have just moved on from this girl because clearly it wasn't it. If he was trying to stick with her, he should have just moved on from her ass.
Absolutely.
And try to find another woman of that character. And to be a Michelle Obama, you can find that in a white woman. You can find it in a Latino woman. You can find it in any type of woman because that's character. Michelle Obama is not exclusive to Michelle Obama. I mean, she's her own unique person, but you can find someone like that. So many people on this planet, but everybody looking at, if you're looking for a Martin Luther King, you should have dated a black man. The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Here's the thing, man. Nerdman, you said he sounded a little bit arrogant in there. And at one point, I would agree with you. But if you really break down that conversation, right, that's not the first time he has had this conversation with her, all right? So it's not the first time that she has come home drunk or whatever. He already said there was a plan, so he talked to her about what they wanted to do with their life, where he wanted to go. He was fed up at this time, and he's not yelling at her, right? I get it. He says no. He's when he says I'm a great man and then I'm doing things. I understand where that can come off kind of.
That's why they played it.
Dude, every single one of us on this panel has said something as arrogant. I'm not judging the man. Yeah. I'm just saying he sounded arrogant in that particular situation.
Well, we're not saying you just. I agree with what you said there, man. But I'm saying that's what these attorneys and the prosecutors do when they have a weak case. They're going to show something that's going to paint you in an unfavorable light, and because if they know, let's just say, for instance, did anybody watch the movie called The Burial?
Yeah. I know
Why
where
do
you're
you
going.
why
with
do you
it,
think Jamie Foxx? They had that place in the poorest black county in the state because the guy was a white man, the big rich white man. He didn't point out things the guy did illegal. He pointed out things how rich the guy was. How did he feel when he was sitting on that $25 million boat? And were you mad? Did you think anything? You know how these black people being done? No, he did all that because he knew the jury is going to be on his side. The same thing, and he pointed out character flaws in that man's character to win the case. Not nothing he did. If the man would have kept his cool and answered the questions, he possibly would have won the case. Because when he found out it was in a black part of the country, he went and got a black lawyer to try to sympathize with her. And in certain parts of the case, she was beating Jamie Foxx. But then Jamie Foxx dug down deep and they found evidence to help prove their point. But prior to that, they put him in a location that was going to be advantageous to their cause and to their particular trial. I blame Jamie Foxx. I mean, not Jamie Foxx. I blame Jonathan Majors' lawyer because she doesn't seem like she fully grasps what she can do. If you go there and your strikes and you don't get a jury that's going to be conducive to finding your client not guilty, you can ask for a change of venue. I would have never got in New York. I'd have said, no, we going to California or a state that's more liberal or more open-minded. I just wouldn't have done that. So I think if I got to put a percentage on who was at fault, I'm saying 75% the attorney, 25% the jurors.
Yeah, there's no way they would have given him a different location
We have to see all of what happened in this trial.
I'm just going by
and
what
I think he should have televised it. Honestly, if he's
you can't televise it in the state of New York. The state of New York does not allow state trials to be televised, and they wouldn't have given Jonathan Majors a new location because even Trump couldn't get a change of venue out of New York. Those DAs in New York are sticklers, and they want to play in their backyard.
I'm sure. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, sir, but I guarantee you, if he had a lawyer worth his salt or her salt, they could find some kind of loophole. There's always a loophole in law enforcement for some. If you just gotta be patient enough to dig it out and be diligent with it. You always. I'm going to tell you, there's a crazy law in South Carolina that you can't be in a graveyard at night after 2:00 something. It's something that's been on the books for ages. Nobody does it. But if you sit there long enough and you're motivated, and somebody done piss you off, that law book can be your friend. That lawyer didn't, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing, like I said, I haven't followed like y'all. But just looking from my eye test, she didn't do her job well enough, and that's why I think Mr. Majors got to get.
Yeah, but I just can't see from any of the evidence we've seen how reasonable doubt, even if she was a bad lawyer, how reasonable doubt doesn't.
Yeah, same.
But I just told you, you don't know. You can be people could be racist. It don't matter.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think there's that, but I have to see everything to be able to finally declare, okay, this is just some bullshit, and it's probably due to the race of the defendant as opposed to, that was actually any evidence that was presented in the case. Because I don't even think that did the defense even mount any? Did they mount a defense? Because they were like, there's nothing here.
I'm not sure.
They rested before they even mounted a defense because
it's just like it's just like you and I, man.
The defense brought witnesses up.
Real quick, let me get Bo's comment because he makes two good points. And he's talking about Grace. She's not as successful as him, so she can't even begin to understand the concept of knowing her behavior was causing his downfall. That's why Megan is down to right. She understands the importance of being successful. And yeah, like, and that's why I say, regardless, Jonathan should have been dumped her ass and moved the fuck on. Like, you're if you're trying to turn a person into someone that is never going to be what you want them to be, move the fuck on. You're a up and coming star. You are, upcoming star. You're wasting your time on someone you're trying to change. It's no different than a girl saying, with a girl who has a boyfriend that's a criminal and going like, I can make him change, or a girl being with a man that's constantly beating her up every day, like, I can make him change, guys. Don't worry. Like,
Sure.
no, he beat
Yeah.
the shit out of you. He's not gonna fucking change.
Right.
Sure, but can I? Did he mount the defense or not?
Huh?
Jonathan
Yes.
Majors, because I thought it was all prosecution witnesses.
No, yes, he did. He did. He did. They brought
What
witnesses on this. They brought witnesses on the stand. They tried to say that she's a drunk. They brought a doctor on there that says she's an alcoholic, borderline alcoholic. They followed the case every day. They brought people.
Okay, they did. So they had a defense. All right.
Well, let's also remember, let's not assume that all the evidence that we've seen, the jury has seen the same stuff. And if they have seen it, are they seeing it with the same eyes we are looking at?
No,
right?
they have because Chill's done streams with a girl that has been actually in the courtroom. So
what I'm saying is, are they seeing it with the same light that we are seeing it?
Well,
right? Everything
not.
we're seeing, like this
Not.
dude shouldn't even be convicted of
Of course
anything.
not, because they're not the same color as us. That's
Exactly.
why they don't see
So
it.
it's not going to happen. And
Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I would say, yeah, even that, that push inside that vehicle, that's enough to say he assaulted me, right? Because I know where I am. You spit on the sidewalk, a cop can arrest me, right?
JG, like I said earlier, there's probably men on that jury that looked at that and have this mentality that believe, hey, no man under any circumstance could hit a woman, even if he's
especially a black man, especially a black man,
and there's a lot of dudes with that mentality. That's always kind of been a mentality. That's why I remember one day, I remember in high school, I was in class, and this girl I was friends with just randomly slapped me in the face. And as much as I had the right to slap her back, I was surrounded by a bunch of dudes, and I was like, yeah, if I slap her, they're gonna jump my ass. So I just sat there and took it because I knew I felt, and I ain't gonna lie, and I ain't gonna lie, it felt embarrassing and shit. There was other dudes laughing, but I knew if I did try to slap this girl back, they're gonna kick my ass, even though they saw her hit me first for no reason.
They're gonna flock like seagulls,
right?
They're gonna.
It's a lose-lose situation. It's a lose-lose situation. Jonathan, either way, was fucked.
Yeah, that whole thing was fucked up.
I mean, is there anything they might have seen that we didn't, though? Is there any possibility of that?
No.
I just don't understand the whole big whoop-de-da about like Johnny Depp, and then like I didn't see. I'm not gonna say like it was everyone, but I didn't see a lot of the same channels, same whatever, keeping the same energy with Jonathan Majors as evidence that was exculpatory was coming out day by day.
Well, because
you know what's no. You know what's funny?
Hold on. Deemed guilty since day one is guilty until look. Let's just this is the rule.
What with Johnny Depp?
You're no. Well, yes, but let's be real. You're guilty until proven innocent in this country. You're not innocent until proven guilty. That's bullshit. When
Here's the thing.
that's bullshit.
I've seen a lot of channels in the past couple of days coming out before the verdict talking about it. And I'm like, all these people started to jump on it, which at first I was like, okay, it's good that people are starting to talk about it, but it's just for the clicks. That's why they were doing it. They never cared at the beginning. That's why
someone like Chillmonger was covering it like faithfully since like day one. He was on it. Chillmonger was on it every single day.
Chillmonger was like on it. He's talking about it a lot. Like he really like does want the truth to be out there to be known about. Like, well, hey, this is what's really going on. Like he is like actually like passionate about that, and he's like truthful on that. And I give him credit for that.
He's also got a 10-minute video on how the jury got it wrong. So that came up just not too long ago.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But that's to your point, Anza. Like people don't really care about like if a person was assaulted or anything like that. It's just all entertainment. Like that's all people care about. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because look at Dana White. Dana White just like beat the shit out of his wife. People still watch it. You know,
I sure forgot about that too.
Yeah, but in Mexico, you can do what you want with your property.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You guys make sure even though watching and subscribe to Chillmonger. That MCU fan. But yeah, I mean, we'll go until 6:15. We'll go until 6:30, guys. If we can still talk about it. But overall, I think just in general,
it's nice to be on that West Coast time because it's 9:15 over here, brother.
Oh, don't worry, guys. We'll be done 6:16. We'll be done at 6:30, so everybody get their rest and stuff. You know, and Officer Danny can go back to supporting the law and all that. You know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
Plus,
you right now.
I gotta get going. I gotta get going shortly. So yeah, like if you're gonna end at 6:30, you gotta end it at 6:30, man.
Yeah.
There are a lot of laws I think is crazy, but I'm not in the law business making. I'm in the law enforcement, so I have to enforce them the same way everybody else. But there's some I think are really, really stupid and crazy and outdated. But that's the world we live in.
Yeah. Can I add in something real quick?
Like burning witches.
Oh no, stealing the horses, still hanging the fence where I am.
That's still what?
Stealing the horses and hanging a fence. It's still on the books. I know, right? Welcome to the South.
Damn. That's why I gotta steer clear of the East Coast, man. That's why I gotta steer clear of the East Coast or the South. I can't go.
Those two white men were convicted of murder. So
yeah.
I hear they still burn witches in Pennsylvania. No?
I don't know about that.
Wah, wah, wah.
Darkness, you wanted to say something real quick?
Yeah. I wanted to say something. I didn't want to say this like immediately because I know a lot of people wanted to give out, say what they wanted to say about this whole thing, and that's all good. I just didn't want to interrupt anyone, so I just wanted to say this real quick. When it comes to this whole situation in Jonathan Majors, while yes, on one hand, it's like yes, this was really shocking because I'll admit I was one of the people that was like, I don't think Majors is guilty. But then when this whole thing came out today, I'm like, what the fuck? What did I miss? And I remember there was like the video, and it's like, no. So I don't know what happened because it's like, here's the thing. If something came out that we don't know about that happened inside the courtroom that they don't want anyone knowing about, then it's like they got to release it. But on the other hand, if it's like really bad, that even if it's like potentially going to ruin Major's reputation even more than how it's already ruining it right now, then it's like the people
have to
still
release it.
know
They can
about
have
it.
a seal. They can have a sealed sentence.
That is
certain
true.
Parts of it.
That is true, but it leads to more questions rather than answers as to what else did he do that caused that decided, oh yeah, he's guilty, and for Marvel to fire him. Which another thing I want to talk about when it comes to Marvel firing him, just recast Kang. Don't get rid of him entirely, because it's like the thing with, and I see what you're, I see you right there. Yeah, I know. I really don't want them to get rid of Kang entirely. If they do get rid of him, they're only going to cause more problems with themselves, and Feige's just going to be looking down in the mud, digging himself a hole.
They did the same thing with James Gunn.
Somebody needs to call Warren, make
so,
sure he's okay, bro. Make sure he don't jump out his window. It's he's a big Kang fan.
Yeah.
Let me play Nerdman's. Nerdman, can I play your video about your?
Well, it seems the problem is it's really in poor taste now because he's found guilty.
No, but I mean. I still want to play.
Jinxed it with the title.
He was going to be found innocent.
Look, in my eyes, and as Nerman said, because Nerman agrees, there's only one thing Jonathan Majors is guilty of. Only one thing he's guilty of, and it is he is for sure guilty of this one thing here. He's not guilty of this other bullshit.
He's guilty of being a good actor.
I mean, let's face it, he's a guilty pleasure for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Nerman put out a very unbiased video, and it's only 1:25 seconds.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Oh, I saw that.
Not the Star Wars, bro.
Why, Karen?
Run!
I'm gonna be guilty by this woman. Help me!
Run, Forrest, run!
It's when she runs across the road. man.
She
She's
can run.
after him, bro.
Man, she is. And still keeping a coat in the arm too. Almost getting hit by a car.
She's not afraid of cars.
Almost got hit by a car. Good gracious.
Fucking Jesse Owens.
Like, what's a D that good? Damn.
This is my favorite part because this is her Pepe Le Pew chase. Oh, it didn't.
You just started Quantum Mane.
The Star Wars crawl is crazy. I don't even know how you did that, but
The T-23 Jabari. Oh my gosh, that was on point. Yeah, that's the only shit he's guilty of, starring in that Ant-Man movie. Shit.
Yeah, it was a funny, like, really.
But it's kind of less funny now. It's less funny.
It was never funny.
That's why. Mark my words. James Gunn's gonna hire him to come play Icon in DC because James Gunn understands what it means to be canceled by Marvel Studios.
That ain't happening, bro.
Nah, he's coming over to DC and where he's gonna play Icon. He's gonna be great at it. Even
if Jonathan Majors isn't involved with DC, I think is still gonna thrive either way because 2025, it's just gonna be it's gonna be the beginning of the beginning and the beginning of DC of being great again with the DCU and the Matt Reeves Batman universe, and then you have all the other goodness coming out with Batman Brave and the Bold, and then the Batman fans will be thriving. I have to get that out there. I'm sorry.
Wow, boy.
Yeah, because look, regardless, the MCU is in shambles. They're fucking done. If Jonathan Majors is guilty, they're not hiring him.
There is one good thing about this, though. Nerman, I told you a year ago, I would love to, cast him for a future film, but now I can't because he's too trendy. Now I can.
Real quick.
Real quick,
and this is a serious question. Do you guys think Disney's gonna release his film Magazine Dreams, but like
I hope
somebody else gonna pick it up.
Yeah, it won't be by Disney, that's for sure. They'll sell it.
It's either gonna be Netflix. You'll probably see it on Netflix because Netflix, they don't give a fuck.
Okay, what about this? What if they ultimately put it on Hulu? Because a lot of people don't know that Disney owns Hulu.
It's gonna wind up on the Daily Wire.
But now Hulu is attached to Disney Plus, so it's like they're probably not gonna do that.
No, it can't wind up on the Daily Wire because there's a certain scene in it that they won't like.
Yeah. Anyway, peace, guys. Peace to I have to go work and stuff. So peace to all my friends and Donzo. I'll check you guys later.
All right, see ya, man.
Later.
Peace out, nerd man. But yeah, guys, Jonathan Majors got done dirty. That's all I'll say.
He wanted to change her life, and she changed his.
Yeah. Cole, this is why I can't end up on Daily Wire. This is why.
Oh my gosh. Wait. Since Magazine things never get released at this point, go back, bring it back up, Cole.
You want me to bring it back up?
Yeah, we're trying to read the caption.
I gotta bounce. Okay, Dots. I'll y'all later.
Peace.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, later on, go. JG, later.
All right, Magazine will never get released at this point. You should know that in the movie, Jonathan Majors fucks the bodybuilder main guy in it. Mind, these are the same individuals that already slandered him since day one. This is all I gotta say to New York. New York, this is for you.
Love it.
New York legal system, piece of shit. But you know what? Mind you, this is New York. This is the same place where the fucking police are grimy as shit.
And they had to stop and frisk shit. Like that should let you know right there. Like.
Right, it's no different than LA. LA even has fucked up police. You got
just real quick. Konami Williams makes a good point because they have now changed the name of Avengers Kang Dynasty to Avengers 5.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
They might as well call it FemForce 5,
right?
That's and you guys, now both Avengers movies are going to get pushed back another year or two because they're going to have to rewrite that whole script out.
Hey, go ahead and push that shit back to like 2030. Who cares?
Oh God.
Yeah,
If
it's
it gets
not
They'll,
pushed back to
they'll use Chat
2030.
GPT to help write it. It'll still come out on time.
God.
But see, this is why I say, even in the first place, this is why I say I do not think they should have ever made all the Kangs look like Jonathan. And that was a stupid decision from jump. It's the multiverse, you know. Some have a Kang be a white dude or Asian dude or even a chick. I don't know. Like they invested in the Kang. Nothing wrong with that. But they invested way too fucking much into Kang. They all look the same, the exact same.
Right.
But
They could have did like they did Loki, like different versions and different.
Yeah, you had a black Loki, you had an alligator Loki, all these different variants that didn't look the same. But I think Kang is like a Nexus being or something, and the Nexus beings in the MCU, they all look the same. From what I remember.
I'm gonna clip that out where you say they all look the same, and then put up just like an Asian photo to make you look racist.
Oh.
All right, cool. Toxic. They won Doctor Doom not too early. I mean, I don't even think they can set up Doctor Doom properly to be a villain in these next two phases.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four is what, ending phase 5. You can't make him the final end all be all.
No, actually, Fantastic Four is the very beginning, like the first project of Phase 6.
Yeah, then that means they're about to rush Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is like literally a Thanos level threat. You need 3 phases to build him up, just as much as you built up Thanos. You can't build him up for one movie, have him make a cameo in 2 other movies, and it's like he's the big bad. Like, no, that's not how that works.
Right.
It's just a slow progression. Now, I don't even think you can even do Galactus now. Like right now, there's so many villains you cannot do right now. You can't even do Apocalypse.
I will bet money on the fact that they introduced Doctor Doom in the Deadpool movie.
It's possible.
That wouldn't be.
Because the Fox version, we might see it is rumored that we will see the Fox Fantastic Four from the original 2005 movie in it, and we might see that Doctor Doom come back because they can't recast until I think 2026. Rosales for the Fantastic Four and X-Men characters. It's like 2026.
Something like that. It's something like that because they're trying to get rid of the producer's name that's on it. So,
oh boy,
there's a producer that will get credit and money as long as they're making it within a certain time period. And once they pass that time period, and they can make the X-Men official movie and not have him associated with it.
Well, guys,
Marvel finds themselves in a big old pickle, and then they're going to be even more fucked once we get to 2025.
Well, you guys, it is 6:28. It's last minute. If everyone wants to go ahead and plug their channels and stuff, and go ahead. You got the opportunity.
The Perp Show Awards this Saturday. Make sure y'all peep that out. 9 p.m.
Do you have a
Eastern.
link to your channel? Could post.
Yeah, I'll post it in the chat real quick.
That's all I got.
Well, that link, especially link that stream. You guys, I'll be there for the purple. Wait. It's next Saturday, right?
It's this Saturday.
Oh shit. Oh,
yeah. Oh.
Okay, I'll pop up. I'm gonna be in Texas though, but I'll pop up. I'll jump in on it. Don't worry.
Oh, then you going down south?
Yeah, I'll be. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll get on for sure. I'm gonna get on for sure. Do not worry.
Oh yeah. Just let me know. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys. This is for the Purple Awards. I will be there. I haven't been nominated, but it's all good though. I'll be there to vote.
You was nominated the first year. What you mean?
I mean, you can be nominated again.
We do things differently.
Yeah, guys, go follow Perp Minded. The link is in the chat. Also, check out Chillmonger. Anzo, you want to plug real quick? Anzo?
Big Ford Entertainment, guys, check it out. I think I'm gonna go live in a few and just give a nice big rant about what happened today because I think it's bullshit and a lot to say.
Anzo, I'm gonna have time to jump. If you send me a link, I can jump on for a bit with you.
Cool.
Rosales?
You can go to RosalisComics.com and pick up one of our fantastic graphic novels. My Frankenstein is available, signed and unsigned. You can go to Global Comics and see what we got offering for free. Got some great stuff happening at the beginning of the year. So also, I think at the beginning of the year, we will have more of our Super Sunday wrap-up, which covers all kinds of news and events. So just like this, except we're done for the year, and we'll be back on the 7th. Yeah, check us out.
Cool. True Boss King, any last things you want to say? You didn't say much, but any last things you want to say? Cole, JG, Darkness.
Can I say this real quick though?
Who the heck is Mike? Mike, is this you?
No, that's me, True Boss King.
No, who's Mike?
Yeah, I think that's
me. I've been trying to get on. I just woke up now and I took a nap. I didn't want to, but dude, I've been trying to get on this. But anyways, let me just say this because I caught the tail end of this. I understand like everybody was slandering Marvel at the end because I expect this from DC Dots, but some of y'all I don't expect that from because you should know better than that. And let's think about it this way. They are the only company that hung out with Jonathan this long because everybody else, once it was announced, cut, done. They were done with him. So they waited at least until to find out what the verdict was going to be. And of course,
they did.
Yeah, they did wait. They did wait. I'll give them credit for that.
The verdict, first of all, I don't even want to get into that because that's a travesty. But at the very least, they waited as long. And second of all, they I'm sure they have a contingency plan. I'm sure in all this time that they've been waiting, they came up with plan B, plan C, whatever it is.
Well, that's why they fired the writers, right?
Well, I mean, they got that. What's that dude? The one that did
Michael Waldron.
Yes, that dude. They got that dude. I'm not enamored with him either, but at least they've been coming up with something else, some alternate plan. I mean, look at the way Loki season 2 turned out, So, I mean, but yeah. So at the very least, they were the ones that hung with him the longest, and I mean, it should. I don't understand this verdict is nonsense, but yeah, but that's where it is. So that's all I wanted to say. I tried. I don't know what was going on. I tried 3 different browsers on the computer. I think I had to reboot it or something. But yeah. So that's it. Because I knew DC Dots was going to be starting some Marvel slander and stuff like that, and I had to get in and
I mean, it's still just 100% fact that the MCU is in complete shambles, though.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
100% fact. Even at this point, like, gosh.
Usually when people's own houses are burning down, that's when they look at other people's and say, hey, what's up at your house? What's going on over there?
See, so our house is rebuilding.
Really? Well, it is
burning down.
So they're going to start this week, right? With Aquaman 2. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, they're not. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Aquaman 2 is the end of the DCEU. Then we segue into a new era. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And do you know why Aquaman is coming out? Because they could only have one tax write-off per year. That's why. Ooh. Okay. So
yeah, I believe the first one did so badly.
Well, I mean, that was because everybody. I mean, Jaded, you're gonna go see it. I mean, anybody with ovaries is gonna enjoy it, right?
Oh damn! Yeah,
you just say you had ovaries?
Well, it's not like I was going to go to the movie to see the movie. I was going to go to all the. It's the same reason I went to go see those Twilight films.
Well, I mean,
the woman made you?
No, because I remember this, JD. You should be watching Aquaman 2 because you did say you liked Aquaman 1. I did like that movie, so you should.
You did?
Aquaman 2. You liked it. That's one
movie. I'm Modi. Peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out myself, guys.
Send me the link. I'll jump on with you real quick.
Cool.
All right, you guys take care.
Later.
JG.
Later.
JD, anything you want to say real quick about the verdict? I know you care about this, right?
I can't believe that the trial took as long as it did. And then when I actually found out that he was charged with it, it was like, then I don't understand you Americans. I really don't.
not every American. It's New York. New York is twisted.
Right. It's just
Oh,
one
please.
state.
New York,
You can't judge a whole country just because one state.
Yes, you
Okay,
can.
hold on, wait a minute. New York, California, Florida, Texas, Arizona. I think you got more than one state that are a bunch of full of psychos. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not just one state. I'll give you credit for that, but not every single state is.
Yeah, just like 80% of them. Yeah.
Right. Our country is still superior.
Flyover country is fine.
Well, I mean, China's actually the more superior one. They could bomb us in any second with a nuclear weapon.
You're right. You got the United States and you got what? North Korea. So at least you're above North Korea. How?
Oh my gosh. You know what? At least during
On
the
the
pandemic,
map, we're above
at least
Mexico.
during the pandemic, we could have went to the movies. In Canada, you guys couldn't even go to the movies.
Wait a
during
minute,
the
yeah,
pandemic.
we
At
did.
least we
They don't even know.
No, it was unless you were vaccinated. You had to be vaccinated. If you wasn't vaccinated, you couldn't go to theaters in Canada.
And
they didn't care in America.
And that's better.
Because we allow people to be free. We don't force people to take.
Hold on, an American who has what's that group of people that can just come to your house and arrest you without any authorization or legal?
Democrats.
I believe you have like an organization that can do that. You have another organization that taps your phone.
Oh, the CIA.
Knowledge.
Oh, that's called the FBI. What are you talking about?
The FBI, the CIA, the NSA.
The CIA is not supposed to work on our land.
I have a perfect response to that. That is for our protection. No. Look, it is for our protection, and I'm totally fine.
Have you seen any sci-fi film?
I'm
fine
being
spied on. I put on a show for it. When I'm taking a shower and they're spying on me, I let them
put on a show. So when your government takes away your guns, you'll be going, "Oh, it's for your own protection."
Do you know how long they've been taking away the guns? Every Republican person that's ever run for office is like, vote for me because the Democrats are going to take the guns away. They've been doing that since like Ronald Reagan. Dude, they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that.
They've been giving them guns instead of taking them away. What are you talking about?
Plus, guns are never going to go away.
Even then, they can't.
Bad guys would still be able to get them.
In this country, it's not even if the government wanted to, it's not even possible to hunt down all the guns because there's so many people, whether you're white, black, or whatever, with guns. There's people with literally secret stashes of firearms.
You have black people in the States?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
K-Dot, what's your thoughts on Silver Surfer being a woman? I'm totally for it. I hope it happens.
Oh God, no.
I hope it happens so the MCU can be in further shambles. I hope it happens. I want to see it happen. I want to see silver kitties. Yes.
How can it get worse?
I mean, what? Look. Personally,
chicken make it lame.
Personally, I know Jaded will hate this the most. I'm not a Silver Surfer fan, but even if not being a Silver Surfer fan, this is bullshit. Still, if the Silver Surfer will be a woman, like first debut of the Silver Surfer,
they're not going to make a movie. They're not going
to. Jaded, I wouldn't be shocked.
Easy. I believe it was I can't remember how many years ago, but there was a rumor that James Bond was supposed to be a woman. Remember?
Oh, that's because of
a woman was 007.
No, they assumed that what's her name was going to take over. The chick that played Monica's mother.
And it's a rumor. It's a rumor until it
actually happened. It actually happened. 007 was a female in the last
movie. For like 20 seconds. But Daniel Craig was still James Bond. It's not like they replaced James Bond.
They said the rumor was that a woman was going to be 007, and it came to pass.
Jaded, I bet you what you got here is someone told a scooper that Galactus' Herald is going to be a female. And they're going to make Silver because that's the only Herald I know.
That's the only Herald they know.
Wait. Look. As of recent, I'll be honest with you. These scoops for the MCU have been pretty on point. Every scoop so far that has been kind of pretty on point about the MCU and has been coming true. So I wouldn't be shocked if this.
Well, okay.
And
So
if it was false, it would have probably been called out by now.
But not you, K-Dots. But how about waiting until it's announced by the actual person before getting outraged?
Don't get me wrong. I'm a wait, but based off the track record of the recent MCU scoops, they've all been pretty on point.
Okay, so there could easily be an alternate universe female Silver Surfer that does like a 5-second cameo, and it's like, oh look, there's a female Silver Surfer. Well, yes, technically you were correct, but it's not like, Norrin Radd is a female character.
Right. But I do hope that the main Silver Surfer, Prime Silver Surfer, will be a woman. So the MCU would just be in further shambles because it needs it. I need the MCU to what I need from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I need it to keep self-destructing.
So you want the MCU to be on DC level?
No. DC's great. DC's great. We're good. We got James Gunn.
You do know who's in charge of DCEU now, right?
Yeah, James Gunn, the guy who made
You guys know how screwed you guys are.
Oh my God, JD, because you hate every single
thing. Is that DC is in a lot of trouble right now. DC's in a lot of trouble. Not DC, I'm sorry, but Disney is in a lot of trouble because of the way they ran Reedy Creek. Okay, we're talking about major felonies here in the way that they did business. They've got outside investors coming in trying to take over the company and take on 2 more board seats, which will change the entire direction of how they do business. And so everything might be moot, if they get taken down, and and Ike Perlmutter takes charge of DC and his people, and everything starts going in a different direction. So all of Phase 6, Phase 7, the rest of Phase 5 might just go down the hole until they can get a reevaluation of assets and the way to make money, because they haven't been making money. So
Rosales, I'm not sure if you saw the article that came out. I need to find it again because I want to do a video on it. But Bob Iger was basically blaming the recent failures of Disney in general on like the company itself. When it's like, dude, you're literally the one who was making the decisions these past couple years, like as starting even back since Kathleen Kennedy. And yes, he did take a step. He did step away, and Bob Chapek stepped in. But even before Bob,
he had an office down the hall. He did not leave the company. He still went to work every day and undermined everything that Chapek did. So,
yeah, but see what I'm saying, just regardless, like everything is still his fault. Like Bob Chapek was only for like 2 years.
Yeah,
not even 2 years. Not even.
It's like
like 11 months is what it was. He was gone for 11 months.
Was still in place, and now he's back, and now he's trying to blame his employees and stuff because he's over saying for the Marvels, like there's lack of on-set supervision. Now I didn't see the movie. I cannot say it's going to be trash or good. It's probably trash, but it's like this is your fault. You're to blame for the lack of on-set supervision.
It was on-set supervision that caused the issues, which is why they got rid of all of the directors and all of the writers, even after they finished series after series and reshot more stuff and brought the budget up. It was on-set supervision. So what he's doing is smoke and mirrors. He's blaming everybody for what he's done and saying that they're going to do something different by doing more of the same. It's like somebody saying we're going to tax you more to make all of your money woes go away.
The thing with Disney is the bean counters are the ones that are most at fault, because you don't need to spend as much money as you do to make these movies. You don't.
That's the thing. The money goes in. You got $200 million going into a movie, and you don't see it on the screen. You don't see it on the screen. So the money's being filtered somewhere else. It's like their own personal piggy bank to make a big giant film.
You know what it is?
I can understand the actors getting paid what they need to, but again, I'm sorry. If half of your budget is going to the actor's salary, then you're doing something wrong.
Jada, do you know what? No, you know what it is? See, unlike DC, Marvel decided, hey DC, we'll help you filter some of your ill-gotten gains through our company. So that's where they're actually trying to help DC, and that's why DC will have their resurgence, because they're using all of Marvel's. They're using a Marvel guy who is James Gunn. They're using the funds that they helped funnel through for DC, because they were trying to help them out. Do you understand, DC Dots? This is what they're doing.
Those masterpieces here. Damn.
See.
You know what?
I just brought this up as an example to what Jada was saying, because like A24 is making movies on a low budget and not
with The Rock. Yeah, they're moving in a good direction.
I was referencing Godzilla Minus One. Like that movie cost $50 million to make, I believe.
Less. The budget is less than that. That was the reported budget, but
that movie looks amazing.
Yeah.
Well, when you have a bunch of like sweatshop workers for your visual effects artists.
Because Disney has no idea when it's work with a sweatshop. Disney is so immune to that.
Sean, they can't make Apple iPhones all day, man. You got to have some variety,
True.
Hey, do you want to make iPhones today, or do you want to go work on Godzilla?
Or make Nike products.
Oh, I forgot Nike too.
And this is kind of embarrassing to Hollywood, because it's like this movie on a budget lower than $15 million made this much better.
$15 million.
It's lower. It's way lower than that. The director came out and said.
Do you know why it cost $15 million?
Mm-hmm.
One, because there's no stars there. Two, because there isn't a director there. Three, the story is simple. It was basically a bottle episode. There were only like maybe 3 or 4 locations, and then when they did decide that they were going to do like, if you go back and watch, and I commented on this during one of my streams. Like I sat there because of all of this agenda with, oh well, look at this, made 15. Like, yes, movies should not cost more than 150 million, no matter how much you have for special effects. But when you go back and you watch some of the special effects for Godzilla, there's moments where he's running and his lower torso isn't moving. It's just his upper one that's moving back and forth. Now that's pretty shoddy. I mean, and I'm used to Ray Harryhausen and all that, and I don't mind any of that stuff. But watching this stuff when people are trying to prop this up as this is how you do things, when you have something like Infinity War or Endgame or even Multiverse of Madness or whatever, and when you have all those FX shots, like I don't know why it cost 150 million plus or whatever for these things, but of course you're going to be adding up stuff. When you have to pay Robert Downey Jr., when you have to pay Scarlett Johansson, yeah, I agree. Maybe they could be more creative with it, like come up with a thing with like like they did with Jack Nicholson in Batman, and even I think RDJ has that too, with the point thing where he doesn't get paid like a lot. He just gets points off the back end or whatever. But like try to be more creative and try to think of different ways that you can, keep the cost down or whatever, make them make them bring their own lunch to the set and stuff like that. How about that? Like give them free paper bags. Like
I don't think any actor nowadays is going to want points on the back of a Marvel movie.
Then you know what? Then you say, okay, sorry, go to DC or something, move on. We'll find somebody else.
Because I hate to break it to you, actors. The audience is not going there to see you. They're going there to see the character.
Exactly. And somebody said that about even with Chris Evans. I mean, everybody likes Chris Evans as Captain America, but name a movie he's done since then that has been as popular as Captain America. Was that movie with that hot chick from
Yeah, to be fair, Knives Out probably the closest, but
but that wasn't because of him.
It had nothing to do with him.
Right. That's an ensemble. And also, I mean, regardless of what people say, there are people that like Rian Johnson for some reason. But, I can't explain it either. But, yeah, Although Looper wasn't bad.
Yeah, guys, I do got to get ready to close up because Hans was about to start his stream up.
All right.
I'll just have everybody, let me find the link to his stream. Just everybody in the chat, let's move over to Anzo's channel. What's that thing it's like a raid or something? Yeah, stream raid and shit. Do that bullshit they do on Twitch where they
stream raid.
Hey, they're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing that on Twitch topless too, or something like that. I heard.
Yeah, they are.
I started seeing that shit. Wait. Okay, so now Twitch allowed like full on nudity, or
they've taken that back
on it.
They went back on it. They
oh really?
Yeah,
because there are a bunch of like almost like bot accounts then who just started posting like hentai stuff on there.
Oh shit!
Because it's art, you know, it's art.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, is this going back to Jonathan Majors for a second? Is he going to appeal, or because I mean, there's video proof of this.
I don't think there's a way for him to appeal a misdemeanor charge. I think it's there, it's done, and then they're going to give him house arrest to put the final nail in his coffin. So,
Jesus Christ!
Oh man,
that's probably it won't happen until February either because they're all backed up. So
he's pretty much fucked.
Yeah, he's fucked right now, man.
Yeah, we'll just, it's nothing we can do. All we can do is just not support the MCU. That's all we can do, guys.
Just recast Marvel. Don't bring in Doctor Doom so early, dumbasses.
They're dumbasses. They're gonna do it.
They're dumbasses. Of course they're gonna bring Doctor Doom.
I mean, if they're dumbasses, might as well just bring in that fucking Kane gun and blast that idea and say, no, keep Kane. Keep him.
They want to bring back RDJ for Secret Wars. Going, maybe people will watch it now.
I think that was one of those DC started rumors about bringing RDJ back or something. I mean, Jaded, this thing, and I don't doubt that he said something equivalent to it, but they said how Feige had a problem because they wanted to make the FF was too white. And that'd be problematic or something. Now he has said something similar directly about, like Doctor Strange, having Doctor Strange come in at the end of WandaVision or whatever. But this particular quote was heard from a friend. It was like a third person source. Like if you're gonna hear Kevin Feige say, let him say something like that, and then be outraged at the stupidity. Don't do it like I heard from my brother, sisters, cousins, uncle that
that my cousins heard from his secretary, from his wife, from his third cousin.
Exactly. But then people run with it, and then it becomes a narrative, and then everybody gets offended by it or upset about it, and then they start doing all these like videos that I
agree with you in principle there, Mike. I really do, except for the fact that every rumor monger got slammed on the Indiana Jones stuff that they were breaking, and they were called liars and all kinds of fanatics, and everything they said wound up being true.
About what? Well, like that chick was Indiana take over?
Yes. All of it wound up. They recut the movie. All of the edits, all of the test screenings showed that it did not play, so they had to recut it, but they did shoot it. They shot where Indiana Jones went back in time, and young Indy got killed, and Indiana Jones disappeared. And she picks up the hat and the whip and takes over as Indiana Jones in the 1930s. All of these rumors that they had out there with these and the reshoots. John Williams said he had to score music for the reshoots, and the guy who directed the movie basically called him a liar, told him he said he was wrong in public, and he's the liar.
Mangold.
So
I mean, he did Logan, so they shouldn't have had him. Period. But
the scoopers are out there.
Again, the problem is that there's when you've taken so many grains of salt, eventually it's like, okay, we're not going to believe you because it's so outrageous. So yes, they were right in that, but that doesn't discount all the times that the scoopers were wrong.
Well, and also, I mean, let's just speaking about this. I mean, I would much rather have that chick take over as Indiana Jones than Shia LaBeouf. So, I mean, we dodged a bullet.
Yeah, everybody's going, Indiana Jones is going to be.
Round was in the original script that Steven Spielberg was going to do.
I was going to go. They were complaining that Indiana Jones was going to be a woman. I go, Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be Indiana Jones. You can't get worse than that.
Exactly.
Short Round was in the original script. Steven Spielberg was going to shoot.
What happened?
Shia's a good actor. He would have been not bad.
Stop it.
He's a good actor. Well, before he then got charged again.
That's like saying The Rock is a good wrestler.
The only issue with Shia is that he's always he's unhinged.
Annoying as hell and unnecessary.
Jada, you mean A24's? You mean A24's The Rock? Are you talking about that The Rock?
Oh God, I cannot wait to see A24 try and do an act. Like they can't even do a drama or horror or a thriller.
They can.
No, they can't. No, they can't.
They could do all of it. They're the best. All right, but Shia was becoming a good actor before he then got charged again.
Hold on. First of all, Asylum Studios does their job better than A24 does.
Oh, they do it equal. You see, Asylum's also a masterful studio, so that's a fair comparison.
I will agree with Asylum Studios being masterful because they got it down packed. A24 is still trying to figure it out.
Asylum works on the budget. They never go over. It's beautiful.
All right, guys.
They're the Ed Woods of cinema.
Yeah. Wait. So Short Round was originally in the script, Rosales?
Well, wait. Yeah. According to, and again, this is Mangold speaking. There was, because I was like, if they were doing the nostalgia tour, because they had Sala in there, and then they were doing like little things, and Marion obviously was in there and all that. If those were all reshoots, or if that was what they were going to do, that was before they were making this movie, before the Everything Whatever movie. So I went in, I Googled why
they added a chick and made it lame.
I Googled to see why he wasn't in there, and he said something about how he didn't want it, like it would be pandering to the audience. And I'm like, but wait a minute, okay, so you had Sala sing the song, you had Marion, like, so how is that also not pandering as far as nostalgia is concerned? I mean, at the very least,
the best actor you didn't add to it.
You could have had Short Round, and then they pointed out that in the comic books they did do a where is Short Round now type of thing. But I mean, I would have liked to have seen him in there. But according to Mangold, he didn't want to do that because it would have been pandering.
Successful.
Well,
yep.
Yeah. I mean, who really cared about Short Round? Really?
I did.
Yeah, I did too.
Your fetish is your own business, okay? I don't really care.
What the hell, Petro?
K-Dot's got 2 minutes to make the stream.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, well, I mean, I'm gonna end it directly at 7, so I can have people just bomb stream. Guys, Anzo stream starts at 7. Let's get ready to go over there. I'll be on for a little bit, then I gotta jump off. But click that link in the chat. I want to thank everybody for watching. Shouts out to all the amazing people that came onto the panel, even if some of them do not like, a bunch of movies like some of us here. Jaded fanboy. But thank you for him coming on.
I like a lot of the movies you guys like because I have standards. Don't get mad at me for having standards.
Or a memory.
Standards, as he calls them, but I call it hatred.
No.
Shouts out Cole. Shouts out Rosales. Shouts out Mike, Darkness, True Boss King, Jaded. Thank y'all for coming on. About to end it. See you guys at Anzo stream. Deuces and see you again. Thank you very much, Campbell.